Hello everyone, this is part 5 of What If Naruto Meets the Nine Tails Early, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Next match, Ino Yamanaka vs. Sakura Haruno, it announced. The two shocked Kunoichi proceeded to the floor. I never thought that I would have to fight you, Sakura, Ino said to her opponent. To Ino's surprise, Sakura removed her headband that she had been using to hold back her hair, and tied it properly around her forehead. Those two. This could get troublesome, Shikamaru sighed, leaning on the railing. It may not look like it, but Ino is an exceptional shinobi, Asuma thought about his student. But will she be able to go all out against Sakura? Flashback. As a female ninja, we must not only be skilled in the arts of the shinobi, but also culture and knowledge, an academy instructor lectured. If you cannot sneak into enemy territory and act as a normal woman, then being a spy will be pointless. Today's lesson will be flower arrangement, now go and pick some flowers. The little girls ran off to complete their assignment. Ino, wait up, a little Sakura said, calling out for her friend. Before reaching a small Ino, she tripped and fell to the ground. I'm bad at this stuff, how about you? Sakura asked her friend. What? Ino asked, trying to see if Sakura was serious. But you're named after a flower. There is a trick to this. What? Really? Sakura said. Yeah, what you do is find a main flower, and then find smaller flowers that complement it, Ino explained. Look over there. Ino pointed at a few flowers. If this, cosmos, is the main flower, then you can use that, Fujibakama, as a complement. Like the Sakura flower in the spring, the cosmos flower is the most beautiful flower in the fall. And in flower language, it means harmony as it goes along great with any other autumn flower. Ino then held the flower up to her head and gave a cute smile. Look, does this go as nice with me as it does the cosmos? Aren't I a cutie? Why? Yeah, Sakura responded. What was with that pause? Ino asked. Suddenly 3 larger girls appeared behind Sakura. Well, if it isn't Miss Gigantic Forehead, their leader said. Trying to make yourself look better recently. Who do you think you are? Ino then proceeded to deck the girl upside the head, sending her flying back and leaving a few flowers sticking out of her mouth. I'm sorry, I must have mistaken that opening for a vase, Ino said as the rest of the girls' group gathered around their unconscious leader. It may be weak, but that flower is poisonous. You had better spit it out. With that, the 3 older girls were running away from Ino. Ino is so incredible. She's so smart and fashionable and cute. And her ninjutsu skills are great as well, Sakura thought. But compared to her, I'm just. Sakura looked down at the flowers she was holding and got a saddened look on her face. If Ino is a cosmos, then I'm just a Fujibakama, Sakura said quietly, although Ino picked up on what she was saying. What are you talking about? If you ask me, you aren't even a flower, you're a bud, Ino said, only worsening Sakura's depression. End flashback. Right now, I have no intention of fighting you over Sasuke, Sakura said, facing her opponent as she recalled some of her childhood memories with Ino. What? Ino shouted out. You and Sasuke don't even go together, Sakura stated. Plus I am stronger than you. I don't even have to worry about you. Sakura, who the hell do you think you are? Ino replied. Don't get ahead of yourself, crybaby Sakura. What are they doing? Naruto asked Kakashi. Well, it looks like Sakura doesn't want Ino to not take her seriously or show her mercy, Kakashi explained. Flashback. Hey Ino, why did you give me the ribbon? Sakura asked, sitting next to her friend. That's because it would be a waste if you ended up as a bud, Ino said. A flower is meaningless unless it blooms, right? And it could grow into an even more beautiful flower. Thank you, Ino, Sakura said to herself as the two went off to pick some more flowers. End flashback. I have always believed those words that you told me, Sakura said to her opponent and rival. I had always believed them to be true. I wanted to be like you. You were my goal. Thanks to you I am here now. That's why, Ino, I want this to be an all-out fight. Unless I really surpass you, it's meaningless. Why are they acting like that? Naruto said, hoping they would get to the fight. He doesn't even understand. He's the same way with Sasuke, Kakashi thought, looking over to Sasuke, who was also starting to get a little impatient at the talking. On the floor, Ino moved her headband from her waist to her forehead, indicating that she acknowledged Sakura as an opponent. The fight was ready to begin. Sakura ran at Ino, creating 3 clones in the process. Ino saw right through them, but Sakura had just focused all of her chakra to her feet, causing her to lunge at Ino with increased speed. Her fist made contact with Ino, sending her back. Wow, Sakura rules. Naruto shouted out. Her basic chakra control is perfect, even for a rookie, Kakashi said. In that respect, she's even better than you and Sasuke. This caught both of their attention as Kakashi tried to redirect it back to the fight. Wow, Sakura is even more beautiful now than she ever was. Lee thought to himself. Sakura and Ino both engaged one another, then backing off to throw shuriken at each other. Their shuriken hit one another, cancelling the attack completely. But her opponent it great too, this could be a long match. Since when did she become so strong? Ino thought. I can do this. Sakura thought. Both of their fists collided with each other's face, sending them both to the ground. By this point in time, the battle had gone on over 10 minutes and even the proctor was starting to get impatient. There's no way you could be even with me. Ino shouted. Of course, how could I be even with someone who only worries about growing her hair? Sakura replied. Like Sakura had done back in the forest, Ino took a knife and cut her long ponytail off, much to her team's surprise. She then threw the cut hair on the ground, scattering it over. Yikes. Shikamaru said. She's snapped. I'm going to end this right now. I'm going to make, I give up, come directly from your mouth, Ino said, making her family's signature hand seal. I understand your desperation, but that is useless, seeing as all I have to do is avoid it, which will be easy, Sakura said. You then wouldn't be able to return to your body for a few minutes and Hayate would be forced to call the fight. Sakura prepared to run, only to get tangled in Ino's hair that lined the ground. Ninja art, mind transfer jutsu. Ino called out as her body went limp. At the same time, so did Sakura's. Wait, which one is it? Shikamaru called out, not sure if her jutsu hit. Too bad, Sakura, Ino said, from Sakura's body. Sakura. Both Lee and Naruto called out. Now's your chance, finish Ino off. Idiots, it's useless now, Shikamaru explained. Ino transferred her mind into Sakura. She's now in control of Sakura. Proctor, I Sakura Haruno, would like to. Ino, Sakura said. Sakura don't do it. Naruto shouted out. If you lose to that Sasuke fangirl, you're not a woman. Damn, he's so annoying, Ino thought. Suddenly, Ino felt something inside Sakura's head, like Sakura was fighting back for control. She clutched her head. Inside Sakura's head, the inner Sakura began beating up Ino, forcing her out of Sakura's body. Two minds. What are you? Ino said with her own voice again. Hey, don't you know women have to be tough to survive? Sakura said, finally regaining control of herself. Once you are caught by that jutsu, it's difficult to repel, Kakashi thought. But, what if Naruto's cheering awakened her inner desire to beat Ino and that's what gave her the strength? Maybe she's not so weak after all, Sasuke said to himself. With one last burst of energy, the two Kunoichi charged at each other, their punches making contact with each other's faces. The two fell to the ground unconscious. The Jonin senseis went to the floor to collect the unconscious girls as Hayate announced a double knockout. Man, that was troublesome. I hope I don't have to face a girl, Shikamaru said, receiving some glares from Tenten and Kurenai. Next match, Hinata Hoiga vs. Kankuro, the board announced. Hey, a little leaf brat, this will be easy, Kankuro thought to himself. Hinata recalled the encounter in the forest with the sand ninja. She began to tremble a little. Although he had not been the one she was afraid of at that time, he couldn't be much better. Neji then turned to Hinata. You should just give up, he said to her as she receded even more into herself. He had also managed to catch Naruto's attention. You are too weak to face him. I can tell just from looking at you. What the hell are you talking about, Neji? Naruto shouted at Neji, ready to knock him out. I am only speaking the truth, Neji said. Neji Nisan. Hinata looked at her cousin. Nisan. Most of the people responded, looking to Kakashi for answers. Neji and Hinata aren't necessarily siblings, more like cousins. They belong to the Hyuga clan, one of the most prestigious families in Konoha, Kakashi explained. Hinata is a member of the main family while Neji is a member of the branch family. However, things have happened over the years, distancing the branches, and Neji is only searching for some form of weakness in Hinata. Hinata, I will say it again. You are not a good shinobi. You should just forfeit. You don't want to dishonor the clan, do you? Dishonor the main branch. Neji taunted as Naruto's blood began to boil. Hinata, don't listen to this ass. He shouted out, waking Ino and Sakura. Even now, I can feel your sense of inferiority. You cannot win and you will only dishonor yourself and the main branch. Now you don't want to do that. Oh wait, you already have. You cannot change and you will continue to be weak. Neji's words had a harsh sting to them as Hinata walked down the stairs to face her opponent. I wanted to change myself. But, is it true that I cannot? She said to herself. She remembered the training sessions with her father and how he would always degrade her. Eventually, he shoved her aside for her sister, Hanabi. Hinata, Neji had one more thing to say to her before her match began. People cannot change themselves. I thought of you as a spoiled member of the main family, but the truth is that you are just an embarrassment. This really got Naruto's blood boiling as Kurama was debating whether or not to let a little of his chakra seep through the seal. He also wanted to shut this cynical man up badly. Hinata, I can see with my Byakugan that you do not want to fight. Deep down, you just want to run away and hide, Neji taunted more. Kankuro just smirked. This sibling rivalry was doing his work for him. Byakugan? Sakura asked, directing her question to Kakashi. Kakashi answered her question, it's the advanced bloodline of the Hyuga. Kind of like Sasuke's Sharingan being the advanced bloodline of the Uchiha, although it surpasses the Sharingan in terms of visual insight alone. Neji glared at her from the balcony, activating his Byakugan. He wasn't going to pass up this chance to embarrass and taunt a member of the main family. His only regret was that he wasn't the one facing her. I can see you imagining your defeat, Neji said. You cannot change that. You cannot change yourself. Hinata, you can. Naruto shouted out, having enough of Neji's bullshit. He has no right to tell you what you are and aren't. Now kick this sand guy's ass and stick it to Neji bastard's face. I believe you can do it. Naruto is cheering for me. Hinata thought to herself. He thinks I can win. UHG, he really is annoying, Neji thought. Naruto, thank you, Hinata though as her doubts suddenly disappeared. Kankuro noticed this as well. Hey, looks like this brat wants to play, Kankuro smirked. Byakugan, Hinata said, activating her blood limit. Thank you Naruto. I will show you that I can change. Begin. Hayate announced. Hinata made the first move, charging at Kankuro, who was just standing there. She had her Byakugan locked onto him, but noticed that something was off. The chakra inside Kankuro was not normal. In fact, there was no chakra source inside him, only chakra lines that seemed to go to that bundle on his back. She took a gamble and decided to attack the bundle instead of Kankuro. After a few first strikes, Kankuro retreated as the bundle unfurled itself to reveal another Kankuro. Damn, he said. How did she notice that? Up in the stands, everyone looked on in shock. What just happened? Sakura asked. Neji remained silent, but Lee spoke up. One of the specialties of the Byakugan is that it allows the user to see their opponent's chakra network, Lee said as Neji let out slight grin. She must have seen something that caused her to attack the bundle instead of Kankuro. Fine, I'll play, Kankuro said, as the first Kankuro's skin began to peel away, revealing a puppet. He felt a slight pain in his shoulder, but shrugged it off. She charged at him again, only to be intercepted by the puppet, which was slashing at her with its blades. Thankfully, she managed to dodge. This dance between her and the puppet went on for a few minutes before Hinata noticed something. It was another puppet. Kankuro thought that he had her, but she dodged just in time. How? I thought I was in her blind spot, there should have been no way she saw me. Up in the stands, Naruto smiled. Hinata was doing great and Neji had turned his back on the fight. How did she see that? Even I think that should have gotten her, Sasuke questioned. Yes, but the Byakugan gives her the ability to see in a 360-degree arc around her, Lee explained. Wow, you know a lot about the Byakugan, Lee, Naruto explained. Yes, when your rival is also from the Hyuga clan, you must know about their abilities. It's just like Gai-sensei and the Sharingan, Lee explained. Hinata was now facing two puppets and Kankuro. She had to do something quick as she was rapidly losing stamina. Focusing her Byakugan on Kankuro, she saw thin chakra threads coming out of his hands and attaching to the puppets. Deciding to go for it, she made a dash for one of the puppets, lashing out at the threads. She managed to sever 3 of the threads on one of the puppets, however, the other puppet landed a blow, creating a deep, but not life-threatening gash in her left arm and side. Hinata, Naruto shouted from the stands, becoming increasingly concerned for her. You see now, she will not win this, Neji said as the puppets landed another blow on her, sending her back into the wall and leaving a medium-sized puncture wound in her right side. Shut up, Neji. What do you know? Naruto said. More than you think, Neji said, getting Naruto's attention. Although she may be the heir of the main house, she is weak. Her father even pushed her aside to train her younger sister, who is a much better candidate to lead the clan. If she doesn't prove herself to her father by her 16th birthday, he will officially instate Hanabi as the clan heir and she will be forced into a branch family, like me. That is her destiny and she must accept it. What sort of bullshit are you talking about? What does destiny have to do with this? Naruto asked. What do you mean by main and branch families? Sakura asked. Neji remained silent, but Lee spoke up. The Hyuga clan is composed of a main family that runs the clan. Hinata is a member of the main family. Neji, on the other hand, is a member of the branch family, Lee explained as Neji remained silent. However, from what I understand, the main family has made special rules in favor of themselves and subjugating the branch families. Unfortunately, that has begun to create a rift in the family. Their attention turned back to the fight. Hinata was trying desperately to evade the attacks, although she was beginning to tire. If something didn't happen soon, this fight would be over. Hinata, Naruto shouted again. Don't let these guys put you down. You're stronger than that. Does he really believe that? She thought to herself. She then thought back to the rest of the exam as Naruto had done nothing but support her the entire way. The least she could do right now was not to let him down. She began calling on the last reserves of her energy and made a dart towards the puppets. Demonstrating chakra control that could rival Sakura, she increased her speed, flying past the puppets and towards Kankuro. Hinata landed 2 strikes on Kankuro's wrist, causing him to lose the ability to use chakra with his hands and also causing the chakra threads controlling his puppets to disappear. 2 more strikes to the body caused his sides to go numb. Hinata made one last strike, aimed for his chest. After the final burst of chakra penetrated Kankuro, she disengaged, waiting to see the result of her attack. Kankuro began coughing up blood, as her attack had managed to slightly damage the muscles around his heart. He collapsed to the ground, defeated. Winner, Hinata Hyuga, Hayate announced. Yeah, you did it, Hinata, Naruto said, jumping down to give her a big hug. Hinata began to turn red, although it was not because of Naruto. As Naruto let go of her, wondering what was wrong, she fell to her knees, panting heavily. Hinata, Kurenai said. She checked the girl's temperatures and heart rate quickly, determining them to be elevated. Those weapons. Poison. We need a medic over here quick. I think she's been poisoned. 2 medical ninja came over and placed her on a stretcher. It looks like it's poison, one of them said, repeating exactly what Kurenai had just said. Naruto looked down at Hinata on the stretcher. Naruto, do you think I changed? She asked weakly, letting out a non-poison-induced blush. Did I show I can be strong? Naruto smiled. Yeah, you were great, Hinata, the blonde said as the 2 medics carried her off to treat her wounds and poison. Naruto sent a glare up to Neji, basically saying, I told you she could do it. Neji just shrugged it off. Yep. Girls can definitely be troublesome, Shikamaru said, looking up at the scoreboard. Damn. Next match, Shikamaru Nara vs. Kin Chuchi, the board read. He can control the shadows, watch out for that, Kin's teammate Zaku said to her. The 2 competitors proceeded to the floor. Man, this is troublesome. I didn't want to have to fight a girl, Shikamaru said. Don't worry, I'll make it quick, Kin said. Begin, Hayate announced. I saw Dosu's ability, but I don't know what hers are, Shikamaru said. Oh well, Shadow Possession Jutsu. His shadow expanded out, towards Kin. She dodged his attack, flinging a few senbon towards her. Shikamaru dodged. Clink, bells attached to the senbon made, as they caught Shikamaru's attention. Hey, I know that trick. Next you'll throw one with a bell on it and one without a bell. My attention will be drawn to the bell, and you'll get me with the other needle, Shikamaru said, analyzing her strategy. I just need to avoid those needles. Clink. What? Behind. Shikamaru said, turning around to see the same bells making the sound. String. Suddenly, Shikamaru saw Kin throwing 2 needles towards him. He couldn't dodge these, so he had to block. Kin was about ready to throw a few more needles into Shikamaru, but found herself unable to move. What? She said. Hey, shadow possession jutsu is finally a success, Shikamaru said, analyzing Kin's facial expression. You haven't noticed it yet. A string at that height doesn't make a shadow. Kin looked down to see 2 shadows coming off of her string and connecting to her shadow. I can change the shape of my shadow. So I made it real skinny to make it look like the shadow of your string. Shikamaru then pulled a shuriken out and aimed it at Kin. Because of the jutsu, she did the same thing to him. Are you crazy? She called out. If you attack, we will both get hurt. I know, Shikamaru said. We'll just keep throwing shuriken to see how long we last. As the shuriken got really close to the competitor's face, Shikamaru quickly bent backwards to dodge it, causing Kin to do the same. However, she slammed her head on the wall behind her, knocking her unconscious. Hey, one down, Shikamaru said, returning to an upright position. If you're a shinobi, then you have to fight with knowledge of your surroundings. The distance to the wall behind you was what got you. I used the shuriken to keep you from noticing how close you were to it. Winner, Shikamaru. Hayate announced. Yeah, Shikamaru. Ino cheered out. Kurenai returned to the stands. How is she? Naruto asked, concerned for Hinata. She'll be fine. Thankfully the poison was a common type and they had the antidote here in the tower. They are just stitching her wounds up and she might even make it back to watch the final fights, Kurenai explained. Alright. It's good that Hinata will be alright, and even better that she won, Kiba said quietly. Now, that leaves me, Shino, Naruto, Neji, Lee, those 2 sand ninja, all 3 Kumo ninja, that 1 green-haired waterfall ninja and her teammate. Naruto turned back to the arena to see the next match-up. Yeah, about time, Naruto said. Akamaru. We got so lucky. Kiba said. Next match, Kiba Inuzuka vs. Naruto Uzumaki, Hayate announced. Naruto and Kiba stepped to the floor. Yeah, Akamaru. It's like we have already won, Kiba cheered. Shut the hell up. And don't bring your puppy here. He'll only get in the way, Naruto responded. Idiot, Akamaru's fighting with me, Kiba explained. Is that even allowed? Naruto asked the proctor. Yes, animals and insects are the same as ninja tools. They are allowed, Hayate explained. HMPH. Fine, you need the help anyways, Naruto said. Akamaru, you stay out of this. I can take Naruto on my own, Kiba said. Naruto. Don't lose to him. Sakura called out, returning the favor for him cheering for her. Sorry Kakashi, but he can't beat Kiba, Kurenai thought. I feel bad for you, so I'll end it with 1 punch, Kiba said, remembering Naruto's failures back in the academy. Ah, is that so? Then me too, Naruto responded. Stop acting tough, Kiba said. Hee, this will be fun. I never was a fan of dogs anyways, Kurama told Naruto. Wait, are you going to help me? Naruto asked the fox. Not physically. There are too many people here and you can beat him without me. I do know a trick or 2 that will help though. I'll tell you when the time is right. Naruto let out a little smirk. Begin, Hayate announced. Beast Mimicry Jutsu. Kiba called out as he began to grow claws and his appearance began slightly more canine in appearance. He charged at Naruto with unbelievable speed, sending Naruto flying back. Proctor, he won't be opening his eyes for a little. Naruto. Ino and Chuji thought from the stands. Chuji had finally recovered from his battle with the sound ninja, although his hearing was still a little shaky. Sakura glanced over at Kakashi and Sasuke, who gave her a smile, reassuring her that Naruto wouldn't be defeated so easily. Both Sakura and Sasuke knew Naruto could easily beat Kiba if he tapped into the Kyuubi's chakra. However, with the Hokage and a bunch of high-ranking ninja present, only an idiot would do that. Though, in their eyes, Naruto was an idiot. Kiba, never underestimate me. Naruto said, standing up. Naruto, Sakura called out. Although she normally wouldn't be so enthusiastic about Naruto, she wanted her teammate to win, plus she owed him for helping her face Ino. As for Sasuke, he wanted Naruto to win so that he might get a chance to fight him in the final round. Yosh, now that's the power of youth. Lee called out as Guy nodded in agreement. Saying that as you bleed. I said to stop acting tough. Kiba shouted out. Akamaru just barked along with Kiba. I let you hit me, to test your strength, Naruto said. I'm going to need to teach him how to do that without getting beat to a bloody pulp, Kakashi said, thinking of Naruto's specialty jutsu. You should stop acting tough too. Use your dog, I'll beat both of you, Naruto grinned, wiping the blood off his mouth. Bruh, you'll regret that. Let's go, Akamaru. Kiba commanded as the two charged at Naruto. He threw a few smoke balls, making Naruto unable to see. As Naruto exited the cloud, Akamaru latched onto Naruto's arm. Yeah, way to go, Akamaru. Kiba said as he saw Akamaru sitting next to an unconscious Naruto. Naruto, Sakura called out. Akamaru returned to Kiba, but ended up biting his master's hand, surprising everyone. Akamaru? Kiba questioned, wondering why his best friend would suddenly do that to him. Bruh, you fell for it, Akamaru said, disappearing in a puff of smoke, revealing that Naruto had used a transformation jutsu. The unconscious Naruto stood up, holding an immobilized and whining Akamaru. No, that can't be Naruto. He managed to combine a transformation jutsu and a shadow clone. Shikamaru said, shocked at Naruto's surprisingly clever plan. HMPH, so you've gotten a little stronger. Well, that doesn't matter. Time to get serious now, Kiba said, tossing a food pill to Akamaru. Suddenly, Akamaru's fur turned red and became a bit wilder. The re-energized Akamaru kicked the shadow clone, dispelling it and freeing himself. Let's go, Akamaru. Beast clone Justu. Akamaru jumped onto Kiba's back and turned into a copy of Kiba. Their face had a feral appearance, similar to when Naruto was using Kyuubi chakra. Both of the Kibas charged at Naruto with great speed. Naruto was only just able to dodge it, by jumping in the air. Now, fang over fang. Kiba called out as he and Akamaru spun rapidly towards Naruto. Naruto landed, coughing up a bit of blood in the process. That's the difference in our abilities, Kiba said. I can't lose here. I will become Hokage. Naruto exclaimed, forcing himself to his feet. Kiba laughed. You become Hokage. You're even weaker than me. If you want to become Hokage, then I'll become Hokage. Kiba mocked Naruto's dream, big mistake. Now was time for Naruto to use his new jutsu. He flung a small amount of shuriken at Kiba, who just laughed at Naruto's desperation. Shuriken Shadow Clone Jutsu. Naruto called out as those few shuriken turned into nearly 100. Thanks to his speed, Kiba was able to dodge most of them, but he and Akamaru still got hit by a few. Fortunately for them, their wounds were only scratches. Where did he learn that? Asuma said, turning to a smiling Kakashi and Team 7. I might have showed him a thing or two, Kakashi replied. But that's an A-rank technique, Asuma replied. It may be, but it not when you can already use shadow clones. Because Naruto could use the shadow clone jutsu, it was a C, maybe a low B rank in terms of difficulty to learn. Although he's still a long way from mastering it, as the Hokage can create roughly 1,000 shuriken clones, Kakashi explained. If he taught Naruto that technique, then I wonder what he taught the rest of his team, Asuma thought. Kit, the key to defeating dogs like this is to use their nose against them, Kurama explained, finally giving Naruto that advice he promised. Naruto knew what the fox was referring to and reached into his pouch to pull out 2 yellow smoke bombs. Please tell me those aren't, Kakashi thought, picking up on what Naruto was trying to hide. Kiba and Akamaru charged at Naruto, hoping to pay him back for those shuriken. As they got close, Naruto took a deep breath and threw the smoke balls on the ground. Gah! Screamed Kiba. Both he and Akamaru, who had transformed back, were clutching their noses. Everyone's sweat dropped in the stands as Kakashi just let out a slight laugh. They don't call him the #1 unpredictable ninja for nothing, Kakashi said. Both Sasuke and Shikamaru had to admit that what Naruto just did was rather effective. Given that he's a prankster, I've been wondering if Naruto carried any stink bombs on him. Right now, Kiba's sense of smell is 1000x more powerful than a human, Kurenai thought, actually impressed at what Naruto had done. Kiba and Akamaru were both rolling in pain, as Naruto's stink bombs ravaged their super-sensitive sense of smell. Naruto created 2 shadow clones to restrain Akamaru this time. He then created 4 more to knock Kiba into the air. Uzu Marquee, the 4 clones called out as they sent Kiba into the air. The real Naruto then jumped above Kiba, kicking his head and slamming him into the ground. Barrage. Naruto called out. He took that move from Sasuke, Kakashi thought, looking over at Sasuke, who let out a smirk. Winner, Naruto Uzumaki. Hey, it called out. Hee. Yeah, I won. Naruto started cheering. At that time, Hinata re-entered the room and saw Kiba lying on the ground and Naruto celebrating. She came to the conclusion that Naruto and Kiba just had a match and that Naruto had emerged victorious. While she was happy that Naruto had won, she was sad that Kiba lost. Upon seeing her re-enter the room, Naruto ran over to Hinata, hugging her and celebrating. This time she fainted, much to Naruto's confusion. Kurenai came over and picked her up and carried her up to the balcony. Is she going to be okay, Kurenai-sensei? Naruto asked. Yeah, she's just tired, that's all, Kurenai responded, letting out a slight chuckle, as they proceeded back the stands. He still doesn't get it. Naruto. That was an excellent display of youth. Lee shouted. I only hope my match is next so I can show everyone my youthful powers. Guy looked at his student and gave Lee his nice guy pose, creeping out most of the people who saw that. Next match, Shino Aburame vs. Fu of the Waterfall. Hayate announced. Darn, I'll never get to go, Lee said as his spirits deflated. No worries Lee, you will get your chance, Guy said, reassuring his student. Alright Shino, go kick some butt. Naruto shouted out. No one could understand how Naruto had even more energy after fighting, but this was Naruto. Shino and Fu faced each other and the proctor announced to begin. Shino started by unleashing a few of his insects on Fu, testing out the waters of the battle. However, Fu's response was completely different than he had expected. BBB bugs. Fu said, putting Hinata's stuttering to shame. Yes, bugs, Shino responded, almost insulted by Fu's calling his insects bugs. I am an Aburame and my family lives in symbiosis with these bugs. As Shino's insects crept closer, Fu backed away, almost as if she was afraid of them. Images began to flash through her mind, causing her to cower against the wall in fear. What's going on? Shikamaru asked, confused by Fu's reaction. It looks like she has a severe case of entomophobia, Kurenai said. Entomophobia? Naruto asked, spelling out the word. Sakura sighed. It means fear of insects, you idiot, Sakura responded. Get them away from me. Fu called out as Shino's insects crept closer. Do you forfeit then? He asked. Fu, remember the task the elder gave to us? Fu's teammate called out. Her memories came to her. Flashback. For the past decade, our village has been seen as weak. The only reason we haven't been attacked is because of our secret location, a village elder said to Fu and her team. However, for the first time in years, we finally have ninja who are ready to compete in Konoha's Chunin exams. Please go and show that our village is still strong. We won't disappoint you, Shibiki-sama, the 3 waterfall ninja said, bowing to their leader. End flashback. Fu, realizing what she promised, decided that today was the day to get over her fears. She stood up and faced Shino, indicating that she would not surrender. However, it was too late as Shino's bugs swarmed her, sucking her chakra, and Fu's screams resumed. Fu's teammate looked on with sadness at what his teammate was enduring. Suddenly, Shino's insects were repelled with a violent blast of chakra and Fu was on the floor crying out in pain. To everyone's horror, red chakra began to bubble around her. Every high-ranking ninja rushed to her. I'm sorry, but I must do this for the safety of the ninja here, the Hokage said. 5-pronged seal, he said, slamming his fingers into Fu's stomach. The red chakra receded, but everyone's expressions did not. Fu dropped to the ground unconscious. Hokage-sama, Shino asked. What was that? Why did you interfere with my fight? It is something I cannot talk about right now, Shino. However, I declare you the victor of this match, the Hokage said. Just know that I had to do so for everyone's safety. Sakura and Sasuke turned the shocked expressions towards Naruto. Naruto, are you alright? Sakura asked, seeing the same look in his eyes that they say back in the forest when Naruto told them his little secret. Yeah, Just shocked, that's all, Naruto said back to them. He then turned to Yugito, who shared the same expression of pain and sadness that Naruto had just displayed. Both of them looked up at Gaara, only to feel his desire to kill someone now. Whoever was matched up against him had better be ready for a fight to the death. Kurama, Naruto said to the fox. Yeah, I saw and felt it too, Kit. She's one of us. Based on the chakra cloak, I would assume that Chome, the Nanabi, is sealed within her. However, for some reason, that appears to have manifested into a strong fear of bugs, the demon fox replied. Shikamaru noticed that Naruto's expression was different from everyone else. Naruto, do you know what's going on? The lazy genius said. No, Naruto lied, not wanting to reveal everything right there in front of everyone. Shikamaru just shrugged it off, not wanting to put in the extra effort to question Naruto some more. Kakashi at the same time looked at Naruto and even some of the reactions from his team. He knows. And based on the rest of the team's reactions, I suspect they are aware as well. I wonder what happened, Kakashi thought, knowing he would have to talk to his team once this was over. Trying to move on, Hayate quickly announced the next match. Yugito Ni vs. Takeru Rigito. Yugito and the remaining waterfall ninja stepped forward. Yugito took a look at Takeru, who was still shaken by the previous event. She knew the easy way to win this would be to let a bit of her demon chakra flare, as she and the Nibi were on friendly terms with one another, but even Ibiki and Anko would see that as cruel. Begin. Hayate called out. Kaiten, flaming hellcats. Yugito said as she unleashed 2 tiger-sized flaming cats on her opponent. Sushin, water wave. The still shaking Tagakaru ninja called out, just getting the attack off in time, dousing the flaming cats. Despite being at an elemental disadvantage, Yugito could see her opponent faulting with his moves. All she had to do was keep the pressure up and he would eventually slip. After a few minutes of battering the waterfall ninja, Yugito unleashed her final attack. Fiery claws, she said, swiping at her opponent with a flaming cat-like claw and sending him back against the wall with severe burns to his torso and arms. Winner, Yugito Ni, Hayate announced. Her team cheered and Team 7 even joined in a little. Lee, now it will be your turn for sure. Guy shouted. No, Lee replied, much to everyone's surprise. It's come this far, so I might as well go last. Everyone looked at the scoreboard in anticipation for the next match. Gaara disappeared in a whirl of sand, appearing on the floor. Get down here, he said, sending a death glare towards the Konoha ninja. Next match, Gaara vs. Rock Lee, Hayate called out. Everyone, especially Team 7 was shocked at the matchup, and some of the other Konoha ninja saw their faces. Yosh. It fell for it, Lee exclaimed. If you don't want to go last, then say that you do want to go last. Guy sent him a thumb up as he saw Team 7's worried faces. Haha, do not worry. Lee will win this for sure, Guy said. Kakashi tapped Sasuke on the shoulder. Activate your Sharingan and watch the fight with that. Sasuke instantly knew why Kakashi wanted him to do that. Lee jumped down to face Gaara. To be able to face you this early, I could not be happier. Lee said. The cork in Gaara's gourd shot towards Lee, only to be caught. Now don't get antsy. Begin, Hayate announced. Lee, be careful, Guy thought observing the match. Spinning leaf whirlwind, Lee shouted, launching a sweeping kick at Gaara's head. The sand around Gaara blocked it, much to Lee's surprise. The sand then lashed out at Lee, who flipped backwards to avoid it. Lee attacked again, only to be blocked by the sand. Kankuro arrived next to Naruto, having been released from the medics after his loss to the little leaf brat. Hey, physical attacks are useless against Gaara. Regardless of Gaara's will, the sand acts on its own to protect Gaara. That's why, up until now, no one has ever been able to put a single scratch on him. Naruto was shocked upon hearing those words. Guy-sensei, why is Lee only using taijutsu attacks at close range? Sakura asked, observing the battle. Why doesn't he just use ninjutsu? It's not that he doesn't use ninjutsu, Guy explained. It's that he can't use ninjutsu. What? Team 7 said in unison, although Sasuke was silent, his attention on Lee and the match. Lee has no skill for ninjutsu or genjutsu. In fact, he can't even conjure a single clone, Guy explained. But how did he get so far? Sakura asked. When I met him, he was a complete failure. The only techniques available to him were taijutsu. That's why he can win. Guy said, turning his attention to Lee. Lee, take him off. But Guy-sensei, that's only for a time. I must protect my precious people, Lee said. It's all right. I'll allow it this once, Guy said. A smile quickly worked its way onto Lee's face as he sat down to reveal a set of training weights underneath his leg warmers. PFFT, there is no way some measly weights will make a difference against Gaara, Temari and Kankuro thought. Ah, much better. Now I can move free, Lee said, dropping the weights from the top of the statue in the room. Boom was heard when the weights made contact with the floor, creating large craters in the floor, startling everyone, and waking up poor Hinata. Everyone had to pick their jaws up off the floor. Isn't that a bit much, Guy? Kakashi said to the blue beast of Konoha. Hee, Guy said, letting out a smile. Go Lee. Yes, Lee exclaimed, taking off with unimaginable speed. He appeared behind Gaara. Before anyone could see what was happening, everyone except Sasuke, who was following the fight with the Sharingan. Lee's attack was stopped just inches away from Gaara's head, closer than anyone had gotten before. He can't use ninjutsu or genjutsu, so we focused all his time and effort on taijutsu, Guy explained. Even if he can't do nin or genjutsu, he won't lose to anyone. He's a taijutsu specialist. As Guy said that, Lee spun above Gaara, lashing out his foot and kicking the back of Gaara's head. Lee had just become the first person to land a blow on Gaara. Hey, I warned you. Lee won't lose to anyone, Guy said. That kid is strong. Now we are just getting started, Lee said, facing his opponent. Lee disappeared again using his speed. He landed a series of blows to the sand wall around Gaara, confusing it until finally he made his move, throwing Gaara into the floor with his next punch. What? Lee said as sand began to peel away from Gaara's face. Suddenly a wave of killing intent shuddered throughout the room. Damn, ever since this Chunin exam started, Gaara's slowly been losing control, Kankuro thought to himself. This is getting bad, Kit. I am even beginning to feel that damn raccoon trying to worm his way out, Kurama said. What? Naruto yelled inside his head. It's true, Naruto, the Nibi said, coming into his head. Naruto had not noticed Yugito come behind him. I can feel the bloodlust of that badger. Out of all of us, he was the most unstable. All he ever thought about was mindless killing. Unlike most of the tailed beasts, who tried to keep the distance from humans, the Ichibi would just waltz up to the nearest village and destroy it. I guess you could say the Ichibi is a true monster. Shit, this Gaara is awake, Kankuro thought. If he gets caught by this Gaara, there's going to be nothing left of him besides blood-soaked sand. What the hell is that? How did he block Bushy Brow's attack with that? Naruto said, coming out of his quick conversation with the Nibi. It's the armor of the sand. A look of fear could be seen in his face by both Naruto and Yugito. Armor? Naruto asked. Yeah, it's a thin layer of sand that covers Gaara's body at his own will. It's different from his sand shield that acts on its own, Kankuro explained. That's Gaara's ultimate defense. There are no weaknesses. What do we do? Naruto asked his demonic counterpart. For now, hope your friend doesn't get himself killed, Kurama said. Only if that badger gets out of control will we step in. If worse comes to worse, the seal on Yugito and Matatabi has already been released and she can transform into her tailed beast. Transform into her tailed beast, Naruto said. Yes. For you, that is what happens when the chakra cloak you gain from me reaches 9 tails. You effectively turn into me. Although, since you and I are on friendly terms with one another, you will not die and you would be able to revert back to your own form at will, Kurama explained. That is the case with Yugito and I, the Nibi said, creating a slight connection with Naruto so that she and Kurama could discuss the fight. You need to release that seal on you to complete your transformation beyond the chakra cloaks. However, my seal has been released already and the two of us work in conjunction with one another and she can even transform into my true form. If I can transform into you, then I really am a demon. Naruto began to cry, pointing at the fox. Haha, it's not like that, Kit. I'm the demon. You are human. However, because you and I are on good terms, I won't take control and try to destroy you. That's what happened with the Nanabi, until the Hokage suppressed the chakra with that seal. The Nanabi was trying to escape and would have destroyed that girl's body and mind. You and Yugito on the other hand would retain your minds and be able to transform back into your original body. You follow. Kurama explained some more. Sort of, Naruto said. That's good enough for now. Just remember that I am the demon and you are human. We are separate entities, but we work together, lending each other our powers. The same is true for Yugito, but not for the Sand Kid and that waterfall girl. If their beasts broke free, they would be dead and the demons inside them would go on a rampage. If Gaara's forced to use the armor, then that means he's in a defensive pinch as it actually takes up chakra, Kankuro said to himself. That means that Kid is actually pretty good. Is that all? Gaara asked Lee. What? If that sand is protecting him, then I must do some damage above the sand's reach, Lee thought, coming up with a risky idea. The lotus. Lee looked up at Guy-sensei and got a nod of approval. He unwrapped the bandages on his arms. The lotus smashes down at high rates of speed, Guy said, catching everyone's attention. That thin layer of sand is useless. Lee then began to dart around Gaara at high speeds, creating a vortex-like effect. Suddenly, Gaara was kicked into the air, his altitude increasing with each of Lee's subsequent blows. Gaara's ascension was too fast for the sand and Gaara soon broke away from it. Lee then wrapped his bandages around Gaara and began the downward spiral at an extremely high velocity. Even the primary lotus puts an extreme strain on the body. All of those kicks are extra dangerous as well, Guy worried. Please let it end with this. Primary lotus. Lee shouted as the vortex collided with the ground, leaving a large crater with Gaara lying in the middle. Lee had disengaged at just the right time and was standing, facing the crater, however, he was severely fatigued from the assault. Lee won. Sakura shouted. What? Both Guy and Lee said as they saw Gaara's body crumble away, leaving a hollow shell of sand. When did he switch? Guy said. It was when you closed your eyes to pray, Guy. Lee hesitated for a moment because of the pain and that's when he switched, Kakashi explained, catching it with his Sharingan. This is turning out to be fun, Gaara said sinisterly. I am going to enjoy killing you. The demon inside Gaara has finally awakened, Kankuro thought. Lee was thrown back into the wall by a wave of sand. He was barely standing after recovering himself. Why didn't he dodge it? Sakura asked. The primary lotus is a double-edged sword. It's a forbidden technique that puts massive amounts of strain on the user's body and legs, Guy said. Right now, he's feeling so much pain that he can barely move, right, Guy? Kakashi asked as Guy nodded. Lee, don't forget, you are a genius of hard work. Guy called out as Lee remembered his days just out of the academy. Thank you, Guy-sensei, Lee said, before a wave of sand fell on top of him. Lee moved out of the way. With that, I am revived. Lee is smiling even though he's getting pushed around. Sakura asked. If anyone was as much into this battle as Guy, it was Sakura. No, now the tables will turn, Guy said, confusing Sakura a little. The lotus of the leaf blooms twice. You are finished here, Gaara said to Lee. This will end now, Lee proclaimed. The lotus of the leaf blooms twice, Kakashi thought on Guy's words. Wait. No, you don't mean. Yes, Kakashi, I do, Guy replied as everyone wanted to know what they were talking about. Then the 8 inner gates. Kakashi asked. Yes, he will open them, Guy said. He has the ability. Even so, such a dangerous technique, Kakashi tried to argue. The extreme lotus. Guy said. That kid has a precious thing he wants to prove. So I turned him into a man that could accomplish it. How many gates can the kid open? Kakashi asked. 5, Guy said, astonishing Kakashi. Wait, what are these gates? Sakura said. Unlike everyone else, who was focused on the fight, Sakura had managed to get caught in between Guy and Kakashi's conversation. Sakura, the chakra coils of the body flow through 8 inner gates that limit the flow of chakra through the body. They are the gates of opening, healing, life, pain, limit, view, wonder, and finally death, in that order, Kakashi explained. The lotus forcibly releases these restraints. It increases your power tenfold, but destroys the body in the process. The initial lotus is done by opening the first gate. You release your brain's restraints with the first gate. Then you use the second gate to revitalize your stamina. After opening the third gate, you enter into the ultimate lotus, Guy explained. No way, the initial lotus does so much damage, does that mean? Sakura asked. Sakura, after opening all the gates, for a short period of time, you will gain more strength than the Hokage, but you will most certainly die afterwards. Neji, Sasuke, and even Naruto, I will not lose here. Lee thought. Third gate, Gate of Life open. Lee said as power began to surge out from him. Lee's skin turned red and his eyes turned white as everyone was now paying 150% attention to the fight. Fourth gate, Gate of Pain open. Fifth gate, Gate of Limit open. Kakashi, what is this? Sasuke stammered out. The power of the 8 inner gates, Kakashi told his student. Sasuke, just know that this power is considered forbidden for a reason. Before Gaara even knew what was hitting him, he was hit multiple times, in the air, in rapid succession. His sand armor was being ripped off him by Lee's assault. Neji, this technique was going to be for defeating you. But I will show it here and now. Gaara was thrown into the floor, sending a massive shockwave echoing throughout the building. Some of the people present were afraid the arena was even going to collapse. With his bandages still wrapped around Gaara, Lee reeled him in for one more blow. This is it. Extreme Lotus. Gaara was slammed into the ground just as the pain became too much for Lee. No way. The ground turned to sand. Guy said, utterly shocked that Gaara had survived that. The sand crept close to Lee, who couldn't move. It wrapped around Lee's left arm and leg. Gaara clenches his fist as Shino and Hinata saw the horror that was about to come. Desert Coffin. The sand surrounding Lee's arm and leg imploded, crushing them. Now, die. Gaara called out as more sand made its way to Lee. Suddenly, Guy jumped in the way, dispersing the sand. Why? Why did you save him? Gaara said, clutching his head as everyone looked onto Lee, saddened by the damage he had received. Some of them knew that Lee's career as a shinobi was most likely over. Because, he is my beloved student and comrade, Guy responded. Gaara got up and walked away, obviously an internal strife with the demon inside him. Winner, Gaara, Hayat announced. To everyone's disbelief, Lee stood up, unconscious and with a crushed arm and leg, not to mention having opened the 5 of the 8 gates. Guy turned to Lee. Lee, you shouldn't be standing. The fight is over, I'm sorry, Guy said, realizing that Lee was actually unconscious. Lee, you really have become a spectacular ninja, Guy cried as Lee collapsed into his sensei's arms. Naruto and Sakura both rushed to Lee's side. Naruto sent a look of death, even managing to let a little of Kurama's chakra slip out, giving him the demonic eyes for just a moment. However, it was long enough for Gaara to get Naruto's message. Medical team, please get here quick. Hayat called as the stretchers were brought. You're his Jonin instructor. Please come here for a second, one of the mednins said to Guy. There were torn muscles and broken bones throughout his entire body. We could do something about that if that wasn't the only problem. The damage sustained by his left arm and leg is severe. I'm sorry to say this, but he will never be able to live as a shinobi again. To say everyone who heard that was shocked to the core would be an understatement. Even inside Naruto, Kurama was beginning to release his anger. For the demon, that was probably the most entertaining battle he had seen in a long time, and he was truly rooting for Lee. What really enraged the fox was the fate that Gaara had left him with. The next time he and the Ichibi met, heads and tails would be flying. No, it just can't be possible. It can't be over for bushy brows, Naruto started to tear up. If that's so, then what is he supposed to do? He wanted to fight against Sasuke and Neji to prove himself, can't you do anything about it? Kakashi was doing everything he could to restrain the screaming boy as the medics carried Lee away. To say everyone was shocked to the core by that match would be an understatement. Neji just looked at Lee. You never realized it, Lee, the heavens will never allow a pawn who puts their own body at risk to advance, he thought. With most of the field trying to regroup, the last 2 matches were getting underway. Only Temari, Neji, and Omoi and Karui of Kumo remained. Next match, Neji Hoiga vs. Karui. Hey, a Hoiga. This should be interesting, Karui said quietly. Neji and Karui stepped forward to face each other. Well, I haven't seen a Hoiga in a while. Tell me, are they still so protective of their Byakugan? Or have they loosened up after realizing their mistake? What mistake are you talking about? Neji asked, curious as to how she seemed to be involved in some matter regarding the Hoiga. Begin. Hayat announced, afraid another match would start off with a long discussion. Karui drew her sword as Neji slipped into his gentle fist stance. Karui swiped at Neji, only for him to parry it and retaliate with his own attack, which Karui dodged. Hey, so I guess you really do want to know, Karui said, analyzing Neji's previous attack. Think back, almost 9 years. To the day that we came to your village to accept a peace treaty. Neji's eyes widened. Even in the stands, Hinata heard this and was slightly affected. What are you talking about? Neji replied. You don't know. On that night, you damn Hoiga killed my father because of the damn paranoia about someone stealing their Byakugan. Karui shouted. Neji soon let his shock leave him as he became more focused. Oh, this is going to get good, Kurama said to Naruto. What are you talking about? You can't sense that boy's killing intent. Well, I guess not, since it is being directed at that girl. Wait, why would Neji want to kill the Kumo ninja? Naruto asked. I don't know. Just watch and maybe you'll find out. Karui felt Neji's killing intent and shuddered a little. What is this? She said. That night, that your father was killed, Neji said angrily. You demanded the head of the Hoiga clan. However, the person who was killed by your father's action was my father. Your father is just as responsible for my father's death as the head family is. What? Naruto said up in the stands. Hey Hinata. You're a Hoiga, what are they talking about? Hinata sighed, hoping that this would not come up with the presence of Kumo ninja. 9 years ago, when I had just turned 3, that was the same day that Kumo had come to Konoha to sign a treaty to end the war that they had been fighting for years. That night, well, Hinata said, they kidnapped me. My father killed the kidnapper and the Cloud Ninja demanded my father's life or they would renew the war. Neji heard Hinata and directed some of his killing intent towards her as well. Naruto could feel it now. Gaara had been feeling it ever since the match begun and his hunger for death grew even more, especially after being denied Lee. Like I said, the head family decided to use my father instead, because he and Hinata's father were identical twins, born only minutes apart, Neji said, emphasizing the head family, with a hint of anger mixed in. However, fate has smiled upon me today. While I am not able to kill the men responsible for my father's death, one of the daughters has been chosen to face me and so I shall begin my revenge, Sasuke muttered, everyone now turning to him. I know how he feels as I am the same way. He wants to kill those responsible for his father's death, the same way I want to kill Itachi for killing my clan. Sasuke had the same type of anger and rage mixed into his voice that Neji had. What are you talking about, you little punk? Karui shouted to Neji. You damn Hoiga killed my father. They may have, but your father made the first move in trying to kidnap a member of the main family, Neji scoffed. If it wasn't for your village's actions, my father would still be alive and you would not be destined to die at my hands today. Why you little, Karui charged at Neji out of rage. Surprisingly, Neji was keeping his calm, despite the conversation that had just taken place. Karui drew her sword, ready to impale Neji for his insolence. Kaiten. Neji called out, sending her flying back into the wall. That was. Hinata said, shocked at the move Neji had just used. What was that? Ino said as everyone was also stupefied by Neji's defense. The Kaiten, the heavenly spin. It's a Hoiga T technique that has belonged to the main family, Hinata said. Wow. Does that mean you can use it, Hinata? Naruto said excitedly. No. My father has not even tried to teach it to me yet, Hinata replied. It's because she's a failure, Neji said, stopping his rotation. Shut up, Neji. Naruto shouted, trying to defend Hinata. No one asked you. I'm just telling the truth, Neji said, facing Karui who had just been slammed into the wall, leaving a nice impact crater next to the one Lee had made in the previous match. Neji charged in, seeing the opening. He landed a few attacks on Karu's arms and legs as they went numb and she fell to her knees. What is up with those attacks? Naruto said. It's like Neji only touched her and she's already down. It's the gentle fist style, Hinata said. Like Guy in the last match, and Lee in Hinata's match, she had found herself as the commentator for this match. All eyes were now on her as she began to turn red and back away. Gentle fist? Sakura asked. Why yes. It's the style of taijutsu passed down in the Hoiga clan, Hinata explained, taking a deep breath to calm her down. We inject our own chakra into an opponent's chakra coils. Unlike the taijutsu style that Lee and I use, the Iron Fist, which focuses on dealing external damage and breaking bones, the Gentle Fist focuses on using chakra to attack and destroy an opponent's inner chakra coils, Guy said, returning to the fight as the medics would not allow him to go with Lee. It may not look impressive, but you'll definitely feel it afterwards. What do you mean by inner chakra coils? Sakura asked. Like veins that carry blood, chakra coils carry chakra throughout your body. These chakra coils are directly integrated into your body's internal organs, such as the heart and brain, Guy explained further. Wait, how can the Hoiga even do that? Sakura asked. It's not like you can see the inner coils of the body. With normal eyes, no, Hinata said. Everyone had apparently forgotten about their resident Hoiga in the stands as she had managed to pull a Shino and disappear from everyone's attention when Guy took over. But I can see them with the Byakugan. Everyone looked at Hinata's eyes and noticed the swollen veins around them and the outline of her pupil. Wow, really? Naruto exclaimed. You really are amazing. Hinata blushed deeply at this. The gentle fist is different than normal attacks in that you release chakra from your palms and inject it directly into your opponent's body, damaging their inner coils, Kakashi explained, realizing that it was now going to be difficult for a bright red Hinata to say anything cohesively. Throughout the chakra network, there are 361 pressure points, or tenketsu, that control the flow of chakra throughout the body. By injecting chakra into these tenketsu, the gentle fist allows the Hoiga to temporarily halt the flow of chakra through that point. Because of that, they possess the potential to cut off chakra from parts of your body, making it useless for their opponent to use or mold chakra in certain parts of the body. Am I right, Hinata? Hinata nodded and focused her Byakugan on Karui, who was still being beaten by Neji. He was going to enjoy this opportunity and prolong it as much as possible. It look like she has no more chakra flowing into both her arms and legs. What? Wow, Naruto said. Hey Kit, Kurama said from inside him, catching the blonde's attention. What is it? I'm trying to watch the fight. Naruto said to his resident demon. Sometime soon, get together with that little vixen you've been talking to. I want to try out something that may allow you to reopen block chakra points, Kurama said. Vixen? Naruto asked, confused at Kurama's terminology. Yes, Vixen. A female mate. I want you to get together with that Hoiga girl and train with her once or twice as I want to test something out. Mate. Naruto shouted, practically fainting inside his head. You're so dense. At times I wonder why I got stuck with you. Back in the arena, Neji made a series of strikes, this time hitting Karui directly in the chest as Hinata cringed a little. What is it, Hinata? Sakura said. Those last strike hit her heart and the chakra network around it, Hinata stuttered out. What? Then that means he really does mean to kill her. Sakura said. Neji backed away, analyzing the damage done. Karui fell forward onto her hands and knees, coughing up a lot of blood. Soon after, she collapsed. Winner, Neji Hoiga. Hey, it said, checking the damage done to Karui. Neji looked up into the stands, sending a rather evil grin towards Hinata, making her step back and fall. Get a medic in here quick. She's going into cardiac arrest. Most of the genin in the stands shuddered at the call from the proctor. A few medics came in and began initial treatment, before taking her away for further attempts at stabilizing her. Neji walked back up the stairs, sending another look to a shaking Hinata. Stop that, Neji. Naruto shouted. Why must you pick on Hinata like that? What has she done to you? It's not what she did, it's what her father did, Neji said, sending the same look to her that he did to Karui before beating her to death. Neji, enough. Guy said, apologizing to Kurenai and Hinata for his student's behavior. Neji just turned and walked away. Most likely, Guy had just saved Hinata from a rogue strike to her chest as well. For the final match, will the remaining two contestants please take the floor, Hayate announced. Temari and Omoi stepped forward. To say the match was quick and one-sided would be an understatement. Wanting to end it quickly, Temari opened her fan to the third star and hit Omoi with her Fuyutan, Wind Scythe Jutsu. Omoi was unconscious before he even had a chance to attack. Alright, cough, now that the matches are over, will the contestants who have advanced please step forward. Hayate announced as the Jonin instructors and the Hokage returned to the stage, which had been half destroyed thanks to Lee's weights. The following finalists took the floor. Out of the 200 that started the exam, only 11 had made it to the third round. This was still more than Anko had anticipated, but it was better than the 22 that remained before the preliminary. Congratulations on making it to the third round, the Hokage announced. I guess it is time to start explaining the third round. Orochimaru-sama, Kabuto said, appearing before Orochimaru. The prelims have ended and the third round is set to begin in 1 month. Good. I look forward to those matches, especially Sasuke, the snake grinned. Orochimaru-sama, regarding Sasuke. Kabuto asked. It appears as if you were going to give his the curse mark, but he had no mark. Did Konoha find a way to remove it? No, Orochimaru hissed. My plans hit an unexpected bump, and Sasuke never received my gift. However, it is only a minor setback and I will have my hands on him soon enough. As I said before, the matches of the main event will be seen by everyone, the Hokage announced. Each of you will fight to represent the strengths of your country and I would like you to fight with all your reserves. That is why the final event will be held a month from now. What? We are not going to do it now? Naruto asked. No, you could say I'm giving you a month for preparations. Unlike today's battles, where you faced an unknown opponent, you will know your opponents and you will be given time to prepare accordingly, the Hokage explained. Use this month to rest and train accordingly. I'd like to dismiss you now, but first we must decide the matchups for the next round. What the hell is it? Naruto shouted impatiently. I've got to train for the next round. Inside this box are numbers, Anko explained. Now, each of you will take a number and this will determine the matchups for the next round. Anko passed the box around and everyone selected their numbers. Alright, now read off in order your numbers and I will make the bracket, Ibiki explained. 1, Neji said. 2, Naruto said. Hinata said. 4, Shino read off. 5, Haku read. 6, Yugito said. 7, Sasuke said. 8, Gaara read, glaring over at Sasuke, who returned the look. 9, Temari said. 10, Shikamaru yawned. 11, Dosu said. Ibiki thought for a second after writing the numbers and made up the bracket. Here are the first matches. Neji Hyuga vs. Naruto Uzumaki, Hinata Hyuga vs. Shino Aburame, Haku Yuki vs. Yugito Ni, Sasuke Uchiha vs. Gaara, Shikamaru Nara vs. Dosu, and Temari will face the winner of the last match. As you can see, there are 3 separate brackets, with each one having its own winner. The final match will consist of all 3 victors facing off in a 3-way match to determine the overall winner. Sasuke was definitely satisfied with his matchup. A month of nothing but training would give him plenty of time to become stronger. Naruto was finally going to be able to pay Neji back for insulting Hinata and maybe even do something about that stick lodged up his ass. Being on the same team, Hinata and Shino quickly made an agreement to respect each other and not hold back in their coming fight. Haku and Yugito were both neutral about their match. They really had nothing to truly prove besides their own abilities. Shikamaru just saw everything as troublesome, Temari was indifferent, and Dosu wanted to prove to Orochimaru that he wasn't a guinea pig. You are all dismissed now, unless you have any questions, the Hokage announced. I have one, Shikamaru said. Since this is a tournament and there is only one winner, does that mean only one person will be promoted to Chunin? No. Throughout the tournament, there will be judges judging your abilities. It is possible to become a Chunin even if you lose your first match. Likewise, there is a chance that the victor could remain a Genin, the Hokage explained. So, there is a possibility that everyone here will become a Chunin? Temari asked. Yes, the Hokage responded. Although, think of it this way. The more matched you fight, the more chances you have to convince the judges that you have the skills to become Chunin. Thank you all for your efforts in the second exam. You are all dismissed until 1 month from now. Alright, back in the village. Naruto said, arriving at the village after the teams were escorted out of the forest. Teams 7, 8, and 10 were walking together. Who wants to get ramen? Geez, is that all you ever think about? Sakura said. Although she heard her stomach growling and figured so real food for the first time in 5 days would be nice. I have a better idea, Asuma suggests. How about barbecue? Chuji quickly became excited. Why don't we enjoy this night together to celebrate the 6 of you who have moved on to the 3rd round, before you all begin your training tomorrow? Everyone liked the idea, except Naruto who still had ramen on the brain, and they quickly found themselves at the favorite restaurant of Team 10. Afterwards, the Rookie 9 and Haku went their separate ways. Hinata ended up back at the Hyuga compound and thankfully for her, Neji wasn't anywhere in sight. Hinata, I heard you made it into the finals, Hiashi said, appearing from their home. Why yes, father. I have, Hinata said, giving a quick bow to her father and hoping for some sort of acknowledgement. Very well, be in the dojo tomorrow no later than 8 a.m. We begin your training, Hyashi said in an emotionless tone. This was not the sort of acknowledgement that she had hoped to receive from her father. However, the fact that he was going to train her for the finals had to mean something. Naruto was up early the next morning getting the ramen that he never got last night from Ichiraku. Kakashi then walked inside. Hey, Kakashi-sensei, I have a request. No need to tell me, I already know what you're going to ask, Kakashi said. I already found someone to supervise your training. What? Naruto shouted, waking half the still asleep village. But I want you. I'm sorry, Naruto, Kakashi apologized. But I have more important things I need to take care of. HMPH, you're just planning to train Sasuke, Naruto said, seeing right through Kakashi. Now, don't say it like that. Besides, I've found you a much more reliable teacher, Kakashi explained. Yeah, like who? Naruto questioned. Me, a new man said, coming onto the scene. It's you. Naruto shouted and pointed at the man. The closet perv. Ebisu-sensei's a closet perv. Kakashi questioned Naruto's last comment. Why the hell does he have to be my teacher? He's weaker than me in the first place. Naruto explained. I beat this guy before with my harem jutsu. Suddenly, Ebisu covered Naruto's mouth to prevent any more words from coming out. Harem jutsu? Kakashi asked, now seriously confused. It's nothing, really, Ebisu said, trying to dispel any suspicion. He turned to Naruto. I'll treat you to all-you-can-eat ramen later on. You better. Naruto responded. Why do I have a bad feeling about this? Kurama said as Naruto agreed with the demon. Haku, Zabuza said, appearing at Haku's apartment. Yes, Zabuza-sama, Haku responded to his former master. So you made it to the Chunin exams, not bad, Zabuza said. Although you don't really need it, I'll be supervising your training over the next few weeks. I feel like some of these kids are going to be a real handful. Yes, I would much appreciate that, Haku said politely. With that, Haku had his teacher for the next few weeks. Good, you're here, Hyashi said, entering the dojo to find Hinata already there. Let's begin, shall we? What are we doing, father? Hinata asked. We are beginning your training. I can't have you embarrassing the Hoiga main branch in front of some very important individuals, Hyashi said, depressing Hinata with his comment. We need to work on your speed and accuracy, plus we need to strengthen your Byakugan so that you can effectively see Tenketsu in battle. Yes, father. Where are we starting then? Hinata asked. First, you are not to deactivate your Byakugan during these training sessions for any reason. This will help initially to strengthen it. We will begin working on your accuracy and then your speed. Finally, we will incorporate those with your Byakugan. Just so you know, I expect you to be able to use our family's signature stance for the finals. Hinata knew what this meant. He would be hammering the 8 trigram stance into her head these next few weeks. Shikamaru woke up, after his alarm had been going off for the past 3 hours. It really was a troublesome instrument that he had to deal with each morning. I'm surprised you're up this early, Shikaku, Shikamaru's father, said to him. Usually you sleep in an extra hour or two. Well, you know, Asuma-sensei wants me to train for the upcoming match, Shikamaru explained. It really is troublesome. So my opponent is Hinata, Shino thought, meeting his father outside the courtyard of their house. We both know each other's moves rather well, so it will come up to whoever puts in the most work over these next 4 weeks. Son, are you okay with this? I mean, she is your teammate, asked Shibiki, Shino's father. I am. We promised each other that we would work hard these next weeks and fight our hardest when our match came. To be honest, I am looking forward to it, Shino said, letting out more words than he usually does. Kakashi was climbing a rather high cliff, with one hand tied behind his back. He knew he shouldn't have accepted Guy's challenge. Suddenly, his feet slipped and he barely caught himself from falling. Seeing the top, he knew he was almost there. Gate of opening, open. Kakashi said, giving himself a boost of energy and reaching the top. Oh, you're here already. No, you're just late, as usual, Sasuke said, standing opposite him atop the towering plateau. Right then, let's get started, Kakashi said. I'm sure you remember Lee's taijutsu from using your Sharingan. I do, but what does that have to do with this? Asked Sasuke. Well, Lee had the right idea. You will need an extreme amount of speed if you are to defeat Gaara, and to learn what I am going to teach you. Go on, said Sasuke. You know, the reason I want to train you, is that, Kakashi said, handing Sasuke a piece of paper. Sasuke knew what this paper was. It was chakra litmus paper, used to determine the elemental affinity of ninja. Kakashi channeled chakra into his and it crinkled. Sasuke did the same and received the same result. You are the same type as me. Kakashi formed the Chidori in his hand and Sasuke let out a smile. This was going to be interesting. That will be it for this video. If you want more, comment down below, like, subscribe. And see you guys later.